I'm Julia Buzatil Nishimura, a cook and an author, and I'm showing you how to make a beautiful cake I've created to celebrate the 40th anniversary of iconic accessories house, Helen Kaminski. For the cake itself, I wanted to create something that captured the essence of the brand. For inspiration, I looked to Helen Kaminski's long-standing relationships with its artisans in Sri Lanka and the lush coastal valleys of Madagascar, where raffia palms grow wild under the warmth of the tropical sun. I've chosen to create a special spiced coconut cake using Sri Lankan cinnamon and nutmeg and Madagascan vanilla. The addition of a strawberry filling is a little nod to the brand's Australian heritage and happens to be Helen Kaminski's favourite fruit. So the first thing that we need to do is prepare our dry ingredients for our cake mix. I've got self-raising flour here, which I'm just going to sieve into this large bowl. I'm also going to add in some of Sri Lankan cinnamon, also nutmeg. I'm going to add some salt into the mix and some shredded coconut, which is going to add flavour, but also a really beautiful texture. I'm just going to give this a good whisk and set it aside. Next, we're going to mix some of the wet ingredients. I've got some melted unsalted butter here, which is still a little bit warm, which is what we want. And I've got some full fat sour cream. And the sour cream is going to keep our cake really moist, so it's going to be good for a few days. Give that a little whisk. And moving on to the last step, which is over with our stand mixer. We've got a paddle attachment, and I'm going to add some caster sugar, but also some brown sugar, which will add kind of more of a caramelly note and also adds a lot of moisture to the cake. And we have 6 eggs, so I'm just going to crack these. So we've got our eggs and our sugars in here, and we're going to mix it on a medium to high speed for about 7 minutes. It's going to be really nice and voluminous, and then we'll add the rest of our ingredients. And the next thing we need to do is add that sour cream and butter mixture that we mixed in just before. We're going to mix it on a low speed because there is quite a bit of batter in there now. The last thing to add is all of our dry ingredients. That's the beautiful spices and our flour. Again, on a low speed, otherwise you're going to end up with flour everywhere. So we're going to scrape it down. I've just finished stirring our batter. It's looking really beautiful, and I'm going to pour it into our prepared tins here. And then all that we need to do is bake it in the preheated oven for about 40 minutes. The cakes are out of the oven. They smell incredible. I'm just going to leave them to cool in the tin for about 10 minutes. I've got these beautiful strawberries here, which are going to form the base of our compote. I've got a lime here, which I'm just going to squeeze in the juice of, and also a little bit of caster sugar. That's going to go onto the stove and just cook for about 8 minutes until it's nice and thick. The strawberry compote is looking absolutely gorgeous. That's going to go into the refrigerator to cool until we're ready to assemble our cake. Our frosting is super simple. It's unsalted butter, cream cheese, icing sugar, and the beautiful Madagascan vanilla bean. The first thing we're going to do is mix the butter and cream cheese together. It's really important that both of these ingredients are at room temperature and quite soft. Otherwise, you're going to end up with lumpy frosting. And we're going to mix this for about 4 to 5 minutes until it's really nice and light and fluffy. It's time to add our icing sugar and a slow mix to begin. It's time to assemble our celebratory cake. I've cooled the cakes upside down so they don't have a dome. So we're going to put it bottom side down onto our cake stand. For our first layer, what we're going to do is we're going to add half of the cream cheese frosting. And then either with a spatula or a palette knife, we're just going to spread this towards the edges. And then on goes our strawberry compote. Try not to put it too far to the edge because otherwise it's going to bleed through the cake once you put the next layer on. And because we're kind of heroing the strawberry as well, I've got some of the fresh strawberries which are going to go in the center. Next, we're going to add the second layer. So this time, instead of flipping it over, we're going to keep it bottom side up, and we're going to finish it off with another layer of the cream cheese frosting. And then you can really be creative with what you top it with. I love these beautiful chamomile flowers. Just popping on some finishing touches. And there you have it, my beautiful cake to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Helen Kaminski. I've really enjoyed making this cake and I hope you do too.